Hey everybody, welcome to Chin Fat. In this episode, I am concluding finally our playlist on Davinci Resolve. For this specific playlist, for this specific series of instructions in Davinci Resolve, showing how to edit, showing how to sound mix, leading up to the color grade. And now we're going to go to the deliver page and show you how to export your files here. So yeah, this is the final episode in this series. I will continue to do more of these in the future. But with that being said, let's get started on this. So we're going to jump from the color page. We've done all of our color grading. We're going to go to the deliver page here. Now under the deliver page, so I just went from this icon here over to the little rocket ship right there. This is where we are going to export out our project. We're going to create a master file, and then if we need to do any sort of like compressed file for like YouTube or anything else, we can do that all in here. So first off, we're going to just start right over here under custom export. They do have some quick little default or presets up here. I kind of like to control these myself so I know what I'm doing, but I'm going to show you first of all how to create a high quality master here. So I'm going to go up here. We got the file name here, and we can choose browse. We can choose the file name under the browse section when it brings open the Finder here. We're going to hit browse, and right here I'm under the folder that I want to be under. Let's go down to exports, and that's where I'll be exporting out these files here. Right here, I'm going to choose that folder, and I'm going to go down and create a new folder. I've already got some exports in here, but I'm going to call this like final exports because I'm doing it for this tutorial, so I'm going to show you where this is going to go. So I'll put this under my final exports folder. And now we can name the file up here. So this one I'm specifically going to be doing a master file, which is going to be a full 4K one. This footage here, the footage was shot in 4K, and we're going to do a 4K export to master it at the same quality level. So, but what we want to do is use optimized media. We're going to go ProRes HQ. I really recommend either using ProRes 422 or ProRes 422 HQ, depending on what you shot on, depending on how high quality of master you want to go. I usually do the HQ. It's about 4 times the size of ProRes 422. So if you're trying to cut down on the size of the file, you can totally just go with ProRes 422 straight up instead of the HQ. But we'll show that. Let's type this. The name of the movie here is Sweepstakes, and I'm going to export it out and I'm going to call this ProRes 422 HQ, so I know the codec. I'm going to put that in the name so I know exactly what this was encoded to when I try to use this later on, because this high quality master is what you're going to be using long after you've deleted your project. If you do delete your Davinci Resolve project and you clear it from hard drive space and don't have the original footage anymore, this is nice to just use as a final file that you can revisit and use that file to export it out to YouTube, to Vimeo, to a film festival, or as a screener, or if you're even sending it out to what they call a digital cinema package, which will be showing in a large theater. We've got the name there. I'm going to hit save, and I've got it in that location. So we hit browse, and we actually named it in the browser. You can do that here, or you can do it just right here if you want to, but I did it when I hit browse, and I just typed it right here. So now we're going to go down through these items here. We're going to send it out as a single clip rather than individual clips. So individual clips are still, if you want to do, is maybe a little bit of editing later on, add some stuff to the edit or subtract some stuff from it. It will export out as individual clips and actually export out an XML file, which will tell you how the timeline is supposed to be edited with those new clips. But we're not getting into that right now. These are just mastering our file here. So we're going to go single clip, and we got video, audio, and file. Let's go under video here and show you the settings. Under export video, we're going to go QuickTime. QuickTime is going to be ProRes. Down here, instead of H.264, that's a good codec for like YouTube or Vimeo, but we're doing this as a master, or we want it to be full on at least 10-bit color. In this instance, it'll be 12-bit color, which will be really high quality. And we're going to go here and pull down and say Apple ProRes. Now we're going to pull down the type of ProRes here. This already says Apple ProRes 422 HQ, but let's show you the other options. 422 is 10-bit color, and that's a great way to master it. And it'll be, like I said, about 1/4 the size of this HQ here, which has a lot of extra color data, but it really serves for getting good, accurate colors and quality when you're exporting it out to another type of format later on down the road. So we're going to go ProRes HQ there, 422 HQ. We're going to use our timeline resolution. We're not going to take the resolution down on this specific one here. And we're going to use the timeline frame rate. So we'll leave those things the same right there. Next, we're going to jump over to audio. Audio this is a really good quality audio. There's a really high kilobits per second here and really good sample rate. If you want to do this at professional level audio, you're going to go 96,000 hertz rather than 48,000. 48,000 is really good quality, but if for a master, I always crank this up to 96,000 just to preserve the audio quality. And everything else is here good. The constant bit rate, the AAC codec is great, and we're just going to leave everything else alone there. MP3 is going to be a little too compressed, so AAC gives us a really high quality audio file. Next, we're going to jump to file here. And under File, we are going to do our custom name, which we've already typed in. We don't want to have the timeline name. And everything else under here looks good as well. So that was pretty simple. Just to get that all ready, we're going to go up to Add to Render Queue, and it will drop it over here, ready to render. While we're here in Resolve and we've got the project open, we may, if we know we're sending this to YouTube, or let's say you're doing it as a screener for a film festival and they're requiring that you send in a 2K version or a 1920 by 1080 version using H.264. So let's say that's the requirement. I'm going to go to Browse. This is going to be the same location, but I'm going to change the name here, and we're going to call this like Festival Screener. We'll call this 1080 as well. Festival 1080 Screener. We'll save that. And it's going to export out both of these here. So now we've got that under the custom name. Let's go to video. So I've got the location and the name saved. We're going to go under QuickTime. We can leave it as QuickTime. QuickTime is just going, in this instance, it's going to have the same codec H.264 as an MP4, but it's in an MOV wrapper instead of an MP4 wrapper. That's the extension name, but it's the exact same codec. So it doesn't matter if you use MOV or MP4. So we're just going to keep it at QuickTime there, and now we're going to go to our codec, and we're going to change this one to H.264. That's a very common codec. This is going to be a lot smaller. I'll show you the file sizes here in a minute, but that will be a lot smaller file. It's a much easier one to upload, and the quality will look pretty decent. So we're going to go into timeline resolution, and we're going to say custom resolution. There's also some presets under here. If the festival asks for 1920 by 1080 HD, that's the one right here. That doesn't match this aspect ratio, so this will letterbox it. As we send this out, it will have letterboxes on the top and the bottom. If you want to match the aspect ratio here, which is 1.89 to 1, where the 1920 by 1080 is 1.78 to 1. So like I said, we'll fix that by letterboxing it on the top and bottom. But you can do 2K as well. I would rather, if the festival supports it, you could do a 2K one right here. I'm going to do a 2K one right now. We'll go 2048 by 1080, which will be a little wider. And we'll do two of these. I'll show you one at 1920 by 1080 and show you how it's been letterboxed. So that's my resolution there. I was bringing it down to about 1/4 the size from the 4K footage. Timeline frame rate, we're keeping that constant. And if you're just sending it as a screener, you can just keep this auto. This is a really good quality that it's sending out, but it's going to be a much smaller file, as you see. So we're going to go down to Add to Render Queue, and let's actually I'm going to add 2K to this. We'll say 2K 1080 screener. I'll add that. It drops over here, and now let's do one that's going to be 1920 by 1080, and we'll show you that it letterboxes this thing. So let's go up here, and there is a 1920 by 1080 right there, HD, and we'll leave everything else the same, but we're going to call this one, instead of 2K, we'll call this 1920 by 1080 there. And the other one was 2K, so it's just slightly higher resolution than this. And now we can go down, everything looks good, and you can actually bring this won't make a huge difference in the file size, but we could take this down to 48,000. I didn't do it to this one, but we could still edit that. Let's do Add to Render Queue. Let's go up here and hit the edit button, and it's going to ask me what changes I want to make. And we're going to pull this down and say 48,000 hertz there. And then we're going to go down to the bottom and say update job, because it's going to be changing this thing right there. So update job, and now that has updated the settings to this one, and it's no longer 96,000. It is now at 48,000. Okay, so we want to send all these out. So what I'm going to do is click over here. I'm going to uncheck this. Right now it just says it wants to render one, which is selected. So I'm going to deselect it, or you can select all of them like this. Or it's the same if you deselect them or select all, it will say render all. So I'm going to click on this. It will start moving. And as that starts moving there, I'm just going to let it render, and then we'll come back and look at the final results. Okay, everybody. So these have all finished now. They say that they've all completed. We're going to take a look at these files here. So let's go to my Finder. I'm going to go to my exports folder here, and I'm going to look under my final exports. Oh, final movies. I called them kind of similar names, but anyway, that's this final exports right here. That's where I put them. All right, so let's take a look at these. So I've got my ProRes 422HQ file, and one thing I want you to really notice here is the size of these files. The ProRes HQ is 55 gigabytes. It's a lot of data right there. If I did a ProRes 422, it would probably be around 10 to 15, I would guess. About like 1/4 the size. But now look at these other screener. The screener one, 1920 by 1080, is not even a gigabyte, which is really, really small. And if you look at these, the quality is going to look really nice, and the 2K screener as well. Let's show you the difference between the looks on these things. And the reason why the 1920 by 1080 screener, it was the same data rate that it exported out at, is smaller, is because it does have a little bit less resolution. 2048 by 1080 is going to be a slightly higher resolution than 1920 by 1080. So let's take a look at these here. And keep in mind, if you're doing this on a PC, you're not going to be able to export out to ProRes codec. That's only on a Mac you're able to do that. So if you're on a PC, the item that you would want to choose, I ought to bring that up as well. If you're doing this compression, if you're doing a master file, go into the video codecs, and a really good one to use is going to be the MXF. This is an Avid file essentially, but it's the same. It's pretty much the same quality as the ProRes file. So we're going to click on this. On a PC, you'll do the MXF OP1A. And down here, we're going to do, and then for the higher quality here, you're going to do the Avid DNx HR. And PCs will support this, but once again, the PCs will not support exporting out to ProRes. So if we go down now, we can choose our resolution as well. We can choose our timeline resolution or whatever else. So we can pull this down and just say timeline resolution for a master, and that's going to be the one that you're using right there. Like I said, the PC will support this, and this is 12-bit is basically the same as ProRes. 12-bit is pretty much the same quality level as Apple ProRes 422 HQ. You also have a 10-bit option, and this one right here would be the same as ProRes 422 regular, which is a 10-bit color. So you can choose those two if you're on a PC, but keep in mind that these are not going to be able to be opened in a regular media player. It will on an Apple in QuickTime. In QuickTime, if you double-click on one of these, this will open up in the QuickTime player, and you can kind of stream through it and take a look at your footage and see that you've got a high-quality one. If I hit Command-I, it'll tell us this is in 4096 by 2160, and ProRes, Apple ProRes 422 HQ. However, if you're on a PC, you're not going to be able to open this up in the regular media viewer, so you can actually install VLC. VLC is a free open source video player that pretty much keeps up with all the codecs, and you can just right click and say open with VLC, and you can do this on a PC as well, and VLC will support ProRes. Then you can view your movie inside of VLC as well. So if you want to view it full screen, when you open it up in QuickTime, it is Command F, and I believe it's Control F on a PC if you do it in VLC. But if you hit Command F, it'll go full screen there, and then you can play back your movie in full screen. With VLC, the shortcut on a Mac is also Command F will take it to full screen. So, but I really recommend using VLC as your clip player. Now we've got the other ones here. So this is going to be a 1920 by 1080. Let's show you the 2K first here. Double click on that, and as we play through this, we've got everything looks like if we go full screen, it just goes full on full screen, and the constraint to the video doesn't have anything extra out here. That's important because I'm going to show you something here. If we hit Command I, it will show us that this is a 2048 by 1080. Now let's go to our 1920 by 1080 and look at that. And as we move into the video here, you'll notice that this has letterboxes at the top and the bottom because 1920 by 1080, a lot of film festivals will require that format, that resolution as a screener. And when you send it out, it's going to have those letterboxes on the top and the bottom because this is a different aspect ratio than our 2048 by 1080. 2048 by 1080, if you use your calculator, you can divide the higher number by the lower number. 2048 by 1080 will give you that's a proportional resolution drop here where it takes it down to, it has 1.89 pixels to every 1 pixel up and down. So 1.89 pixels horizontally to every 1 pixel up and down. So that's a 1.89 to 1 aspect ratio. So this is a little bit wider than 1920 by 1080. So the 1920 by 1080 brings the 2K footage, squeezes it down to a smaller size, and fits it in the 1.78 to 1 aspect ratio. If you look at 1920 divided by 1080 gives us a 1.78. They rounded up 1.78 to 1 aspect ratio, which is not as wide as the 1.89 to 1 aspect ratio. So once again, it takes this aspect ratio and squeezes it down to fit the whole image inside 1920 and adds these black bars on the top and the bottom to compensate for the aspect ratio difference there. And then once again, the ProRes file, or if you do the Avid file on a PC, that is going to be your final master that you save and keep in case you need to compress it at a later date and change the resolution and change the codec to something different for uploading it to YouTube, uploading to Vimeo, sending it to a film festival, or sending it off to a digital cinema package. Well, that's it for this series. If you've been watching this whole ways, thank you for watching. And if you have any comments or questions, please post them. And thank you so much for watching Chin Fat.